So I want to do that practice again. And is everybody clear on the practice? Those of you that just came in, I'll talk about it again. We're doing I call a rep practice. So you're letting the mind wander and just letting it go wherever it wants. But what's your name? Lori. So similar to what Lori says, is you're just observing it. I call it like a Jane Goodall observation. So Jane Goodall's not like trying to get the chimps to stop fighting. She's not like trying to hey, you guys should maybe go over this direction. Or she's just observing. She's just there observing so we're trying to do that. We're observing the mind wandering. We're not trying to direct it. Let the mind wander anywhere it wants and try to observe it. Now you're going to get pulled into the dialogue. You're going to get pulled into it and then you lose the observing capacity. No problem, just try to remember, come back whenever you can. That's not the main thing. The main thing is we're going to let the mind wander and then we're going to just try to stay fully present to the sensation of 1 to 5 breaths. Whatever you'd like. And just now work with the idea of receiving the breath as opposed to focusing on the breath. Okay, so just try to really, this time around, try to really work on and it's a kind of, I see it almost as a kind of grace. The breath is, especially if you've ever been in a situation where you're having a hard time breathing, breath can really be a grace. So really receive the grace of that breath. That reminds me, 2 quick things. If you have anxiety and the breath creates anxiety, work with something else. And if you're having breathing problems, work with something else. It doesn't matter so much. Another thing you can work with is a sensation in the left palm of your hand. The sensation at the bottom of your feet. It doesn't really matter what the object of meditation is. So if the breath isn't working for you, I'm going to talk about the breath, but feel free to use something else. All we're using that is an anchor to come back to again and again. But make it a physical thing. Don't do a visualization. Just for now. So just work with the actual physical sensation. Stay with it for 1 or 2 breaths, and then let the mind wander. And then when you're ready, come back into presencing for 1 or 2 breaths, or maybe 5 breaths. If you really want to be ambitious, you could try 8 breaths, and then just relax and come in. And we'll just, do a kind of natural flow of that. I'm going to talk a little bit less this time, but I'll do maybe 1 reminder halfway through. Sounds are not a problem. That said, try to stay still as much as you can. So first, stretch the neck. Again, it's nice. We'll get a little bit more stretching in today than we normally do. Maybe stretch the arms. Crack your knuckles if you need to crack your knuckles. Stretch the jaw. And then just come into a... Keep the back straight. And just enjoy yourself. Just take a minute just to enjoy yourself. Enjoy the communion here of people. It's such a joy to be together. Just enjoy that. And then whenever you're ready, And if you haven't already, just whenever you're ready, come into a full, maybe 3 breaths. Try to just be fully present. Exhale, inhale 1. Exhale, inhale 2. In your own time, and then let the mind wander. And just a couple more minutes, and if you've gotten lost into mind wandering, just come back, enjoy being an observer of the mind as opposed to being captured by it. And then whenever you're ready, just stay with the sensation of maybe 3 or 5 breaths. And in the last minute, just drop everything, forget about everything, stay totally still, and just let yourself relax. And regardless of how the critical mind might have thought that this practice went, just appreciate being here for it. Appreciate the success of the practice. Just take a moment to authentically bring up some appreciation.